Hello Vincent's Collection viewers. This week we will design Olive with Smoky epoxy table with you. Let's start!
First of all, we are looking for trees with characteristic features requested by our customers from our tree warehouse. Then we will move on to the cleaning phase. Cleaning tree stumps is one of the most important steps in making an epoxy table. The reason why tree cleaning is very important is that the trees we use have completed their life in nature. To complete its life in nature means that these trees are very worn and contain a lot of rotten tissues. This is one of the best parts of our job. It's truly amazing that trees like this can be recycled and produced with marvelous results. Three, we make one surface of the tree flat with the help of CNC machine before pouring epoxy. This surface will stay on the bottom surface when we frame the tree stumps. The reason we flatten it is to ensure that the epoxy doesn't seep under the tree. No matter how many years I've been doing this job, I can't help watching this machine scrape the surface. After this stage is over, we will frame the tree stumps and pour the epoxy. We are in the last stage before preparing and pouring the epoxy. You are currently following a mold preparation process for this design where tree stumps will be placed. First of all, after the epoxy process is completed, we apply wax material to easily separate the table from the floor. We turn the MDF pieces cut for this mold into a frame in the appropriate size for the table size requested by our customer with the help of hot silicone. Next, we'll place the tree stumps in the frame. If you want to see more such content, you can support me by subscribing to my channel. We are preparing our epoxy material for casting. We add a certain amount of hardener into the resin and mix it. The color we want to achieve is smoky gray. For this, we drop a certain amount of gray pigment into the resin and continue mixing. The most enjoyable stage to watch is the epoxy casting stage. Epoxy takes about 8 hours to dry. It is ideal if the table is 2 inches thick for longevity. We do not pour all the resin in one go. That wouldn't be very healthy. Epoxy is poured at different times in 3 times.
One hour later.
Well, the epoxy has dried. Here is the tabletop. We need to thin the tree stumps in epoxy to 2 inches thick. For this, we get help from the CNC machine again. Once the tabletop has reached the thickness we want, we will begin cutting the edges for the final size. We cut the edges to make the tabletop reach its final size and smooth the edges. This is the most necessary stage for a table of the exact size that the customers want. Our table is almost ready. In order for the table surface to look smooth and bright, we apply sanding and polishing to the surfaces of the table. There are still gaps in the tree stumps while sanding. We need to fill the pits one by one and continue the sanding process. We fill this filling process with epoxy to make the table last longer. When sanding, we first use coarse grit sandpaper. Then the grit numbers increase and we don't stop until we use the thinnest grit sandpaper. The purpose of using these sandpapers from coarse to fine is to make the surface smooth. We'll polish it later. Here, we make the grains of the wood appear more clearly with wood oil. In addition, applying wood oil provides protection on the table surface. If you want to see more such content, you can support me by subscribing to my channel. Well, the final stage of the table is polishing. With the help of pastry polish, we make the epoxy brighter. At the same time, it ensures that the table is as durable as the first day with protective materials against scratches while polishing. You can also see the chassis we mounted under the table. With this metal frame, the table legs are easily connected and this frame provides support to the table. Here is the perfect transformation of trees that have completed their task in nature after combining with epoxy. I wish my customer to eat on the table with pleasure for years. If you want to see more such videos, you can subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching.